Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lorenzo's Space Channel with episode 15 of Galileo Contracting. It's been a while, I'll keep it short. I've been on holiday, work was crazy, and there's romance in the air, spring and all. Cool, so I'm back with this episode now. What we're doing today is the same as the last episode. We're going to do a triple flyby of Ioti, Ceti, and Thalia for a double mission completion, which we need because our money is low. Also, we failed last time. Of course, we can't have that. The rocket today is the KPRR Flyer Buyer 3, very well grammared by the space program. And it seems straightforward enough. The big selling point of this one, made by Mr. J, is that it supposedly has enough antennae to communicate all the way to Thalia, which will allow maneuvers and all that good stuff. So let me get the launch out of the way. Hit SAS, hit spacebar. We still know how to do this. Great. There we go. The liftoff is fairly slow. It has, let's see, apparently 9 engines in a is it an octaweb configuration? A lot of SpaceX influence on KSP these days, at least in the minds of the designers. Is it actually? I can't count. I lost my math skills. I think maybe it's a square or not. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. We are lifting off. The mission plan is the same as it was last time. We're gonna visit the 2 moons first, basically based on their respective orbital positions, so we can make that happen. What is different from the last time is that we have plenty of time before the transfer window to Thalia, so we won't be missing that by spending time poodling around the moons. So that's a big difference. We have thus enough time to also get nice high efficiency intercepts with these moons, or if not high efficiency, at least easy encounters, owing to I lost my sentence there, owing to the fact that we have a lot of spare time. So we don't need to do quick rendezvous. We can just make the orbit the size of the moon and slowly catch up to it. Now I should be careful with this, because if I'm gonna start doing those things, probably we will be able to spend the year or so we have in spare time. Anyway, back to the present. We are just about at first stage burnout. Our ellipsis is 35 kilometers. Fairly heavy-handed approach here, just going up and then wrenching it around pretty straight. That's possibly a bit too... Oh my god, I can't steer this! SAS on. Let's try and make that go pro grade. Oh, this rocket engine is no match for the flimsy aerodynamics that are still at this level. Let's see. Would it help if we jettisoned the nose cone? That would probably make things worse, right? Because at least now it's streamlined. We're a bit lower than I thought. Well, not than I thought, but than I was flying for. We're at a 41 kilometer periapsis. We are in the thin bit of the atmosphere, but not quite out of it. I think the first stage could have used maybe some boosters, but anyway, let's try and angle it upwards a little bit, just being cautious here. Maybe we can use some of that aerodynamic effect to gain some more altitude, and once we're at 45-ish kilometers, I'll feel comfortable ditching the fairing, which of course would reduce our weight a little bit more. Let's see, we have a big-ass satellite on here, by the way, because I think this is all satellite. And that would mean... No, wait, it's not. There's more stages. We have 6.6 kilometers per second of delta V from here. Actually, that could be a little bit tight. We need a good kilometer per second more just to get into orbit. And then we'll have 5, so we'll spend about 1.5 doing the moons. Yeah, it might get tight. We'll see how that goes. First things first, let's focus on not crashing down back to the planet. We're barely ascending at this point, which is a potential problem. Our rocket here has a thruster weight of 1.09, which leads me to believe that I should have gone for an even steeper insertion, well, basically burning most of the first stage more upwards rather than horizontally, because this way we're wasting quite a bit of delta V. That means all the extra weight from the fairing really needs to be ditched. So let's go ahead and ditch that. It's not as if this shape is too unaerodynamic. At least we got rid of that. And once we're well and truly out of the atmosphere, we'll try the action group to deploy all the antenna, because obviously we're going to need that. Let's see, we have now an apoapsis of 54 kilometers. Our orbital speed is approaching, well, just that, orbital speed. So our insertion is actually happening. So let's see, we have a whole other tank here with, I think this is the Terrier one. Yeah, we're gonna get bumped down a notch on the thrust away front again. Fortunately, we do have time warp. I think this whole thing is basically antennae and sensors, which is pretty crazy if you ask me. But you know, we'll see how far we can get with it. It seems there's a lot of mass here. But maybe Thalia is closer delta V wise than I am currently thinking. It has been a little while. Maybe my memory isn't the best. That could definitely be the case. All right, we are at least on a suborbital trajectory with a apoapsis well outside the atmosphere. So let's cut engines for now, and let's see about deploying all these things. There we go. Masterfully orchestrated to not hit each other. We have some solar panels even. We're probably going to need those for all these antennae. They're not even pointing in the right direction. I love the Kerbal solution. It's like, oh my god, we lost contact with the last probe. Better put all the antennas on there. But don't we have to point them anywhere? No, just put them on. They'll work. And they'll work. You know, it's great. Cool. Let's go to apoapsis. Make ourselves a neat little orbit. And then see about encountering some of these moons. It's going to be a little maneuver node party again. So we're going to try and aim ourselves prograde. We'll use engine thrust to get there, as you do with rockets. Our periapsis now is one to watch. That's 60, 70, 80 outside of the atmosphere. We are officially in orbit, and the second stage is almost completely burned out. So it's for the best, really. Let's see if we can go to Ceti, can we? Shall we? We'll try a node at we'll try a maneuver at the ascending node, and there we go. Immediate Ceti encounter. Let's make it a little bit smaller so that we don't go crazy. And then from there we can try and encounter this Ioti one. Which, yeah, I'm feeling good about it. This is going really fast and painless. Let's open the mission view as well. Actually keep the resources one, rather do that. Our node happens in 15 minutes, so we've got time warp for that. Let's see, as soon as we're in sunlight, our solar panels charge the antenna. That's good. That's really good, because otherwise this whole thing wouldn't work. I like the look of this spaceship, by the way. It's like all long and stretchy. I don't know the word. Cool. We're looking at a 1 minute burn, but that's on this engine. And then we're switching to a much smaller engine. So let's see. Let's try to burn at 1.5 minutes off the maneuver node. Here we go. Turning it on again. We had already turned it off. This is going to leave some space junk, but that's fine. Do we have to turn these antennae on as well? No, they're already on. There we go. This is already the final drive section. So we have, wait, it's not. We have another smaller engine here. Oh, I see what you did there. This is a 5-stage rocket. Cool. That means we have a lot more delta V than I originally anticipated. Quite good for a single-stage rocket, actually. Consider all the comments I made about needing boosters to be redacted. Because, whoa, does this thing have landing legs? It does have landing legs. Alright. That's interesting. We might be able to land it somewhere. Who knows? Yeah, scratch all those thoughts. We're just going to do this maneuver node and see about encountering the far away moon, which is one of the 3 on our bucket list today. And then hopefully everything will go really nice, smooth, and painless. And we'll get this mission done, and then we'll have to think about the future. And I was chatting with Griswolf, the man himself. He was reminiscing about some old series of mythical folktales called KSP Contracting, which is the predecessor to this little episode. Not this episode, to this little show. We already did it before once with just regular KSP. And that was a lot of fun. And one of the things we did in there was have all the viewers collaborate on a big multi-launch vessel. Say one of the viewers would make a launch vehicle, which would be used multiple times, maybe. Another one would make a interplanetary transfer vehicle, which had docking ports and enough fuel and supplies for the child vessels. And all the other people that wanted in would make landers or shuttles or what have you for the actual landfall and exploration, which was pretty cool. And they chat to each other and swap design specs and stuff. So I propose, and you can't talk back to me, so it's probably what we're going to do, that we do the same again, where you guys are going to collaborate and build a multi-spaceship thing to go to one of the planets. Now, at the end of this episode, if all goes well, we'll have data and experience with at least 2 of the planets, being Thalumo and Thalia. So with that available, we will select one of those as a mission target. Let's see, I'm trying to fight the game's time warp, which obviously isn't working. Let's see, we have flyby of Ceti. That has by now been achieved. So now we need to fly by Ioti, which obviously is going to be slightly more difficult. I don't know why it would be more difficult, actually. Let's see, flying by Ioti. How hard can it be, right? Let's see if we can't make it happen from here. I think we would be able to make it happen from here. Not quite, right? Maybe we can definitely make it worse, but can we make it better? I'm trying to do the burn at the periapsis of Ceti, at our periapsis around Ceti, so we can, minimize the delta V requirements and make slick moves, which, is very important in space travel. Your moves must be slick. I think 4.5 is the best we're gonna get. There we go, another encounter. That's not too bad. Right on. Let's get to work there. That's 1 day until the first. Oh my God! We just suddenly popped into 10,000 times time warp. It's a miracle I managed to stop it, I think. Oh my God! That went fast all of a sudden. All right. On course to Thalia. That's 150 meters per second, and then something else which is way far out, which is not going to be that much, I don't think. Cool. Here we are at the maneuver node. The ship is starting to be a lot more responsive because it's so light now. That's good. Cool. Full thrust, 100 something meters per second, and then this maneuver node is only 30 meters per second. There we go. And then we have a while to kill before actually doing the burn to Thalia, about 300 something days. Now, one of the comments on the previous video where the completed check marks vanished at some point was maybe they expired because, as you might remember, we spent many years trundling around the solar system. And that was, I think, a fair point. Could well have been designed in a way where achievements expire after, let's say, 10 years maybe. So that could well have happened. If that happens again, I can use the cheat console or my notepad skills or something like that and get the money that way. Because, of course, what's ours is ours, and we're not going to get cheated out of it. 3 more days on the time warp. And that thought about the expiration date is because, of course, we're going to have to wait 380 days before even doing our insertion burn to Thalia, which, might just trigger that expiration date. If it does, we'll say that it still counts because the mission didn't specify a time frame in which the 3 encounters had to happen, only like the 80-year expiration date of the mission itself. I think that they should have been more clear if that mattered. Anyway, here we are. Maneuver node, burn. Sick burn, yo. And that should leave us with an encounter. Does it? And it does, yay. And then, of course, the question becomes, where do we go to then do our Thalia burn? I think after this we want to at least get our periapsis close to Gale again, so that we can do our ejection burn near Gale, where we go faster and have more energy. But we'll figure that out when we get to it. Ooh, when we're gonna time warp forward like 400 days, we might want to get our orbit actually outside these moons because there might be resonance. Not resonance, just encounters. But we'll get around that when we get to it. So let's time warp to Iota. There we go. I'm actually not even trying to get science because I think we have all the science from these bodies. But obviously we have some containers, some cool. Ooh, these are detachable. That's smart. That's cool. Nice. They're like detachable little science canisters. Obviously, we're going to try and do some around Thalia, and we're going to do the materials and the goo around the star. So there's that. Right. We have a flyby of Ceti and Iota. Now let's see. I did this already. That's where the alarm comes from. But let's see how much delta V we're going to need to get to Thalia. We're gonna be needing, oh my god, we're gonna be needing about everything this thing has. So we are absolutely jettisoning these material bays for sure. We're not gonna even try and bring them to Thalia. And we're also not going to. Oh, this might actually be a problem because that is from like 100-kilometer orbit of Gale. Now, obviously, we are in a higher energy orbit. That could be good because we already spent lots of rocket fuel. But if we're gonna have to end up doing our burn way out at Apoapsis, that might not be that great. So we're gonna do it at. Yeah, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna spend a little drop of fuel to get our periapsis close to the planet and then do the burn there, but not like way close around it because we're probably gonna have to go for a weird angle or something like that. So let's now throw a quick save and observe some mad time warping. And it just, yeah, this is the speed where this is maximum speed. I think if we encounter a moon, we might get a decrease in speed or just a simple crash. Now we are at 290 days remaining, and then we're gonna go to Thalia. And one revolution takes 60 days. So once we're at, like, ideally we are here with about 30 to 40 days remaining on the window. We can spot that, I think. That's 180 minus 60 will be 110. So 2 more revolutions and then we're gonna go for it. Yeah, that's what we'll do. So that's 140. I'm preparing to dial back the time warp. That's one revolution is only 30 days. Oh, right. Double that. That means it's 2 more from now. That's 70. That is 30-ish. Yeah, let's actually have a look at our solar system. Where is Thalia? That's right over here, isn't it? Yeah. So we want to be going. We want to eject that way, which is obviously a horrible idea. So what we'll do is we'll not lower our orbit after all. We'll just do the burn here, which is 12 days from now. Or we can do it like here, which is going to be like about spot on the transfer burn. Let's see what we can do. Also, it doesn't seem to actually take 4 kilometers per second. Yeah, so in that case, we are definitely going to do another circuit of this orbit. There we go. Now it's just in about 8 days, and we're going to try and get our ejection nicely incidental to Thalia. Ooh, look at that. That's a very close encounter already. We can probably make it happen immediately from here. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong key to press. Now, of course, we're going to have the same conversation again as we had last episode. It will be technically possible to make our encounter a lot better at this point, at the descending node, which I think we're just going to have to go for again, because we're just a little bit too far off the descending node to actually make this encounter happen in one go. I'm going to try anyway with I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it completely wrong. I was gonna say I'm gonna try do it anyway. I didn't mean anyway. After all, with these little keys. But yeah, that's not working for me. So we have a separation here of just 42,000 kilometers. That's nothing, by the way. This sphere of influence on this thing is tiny. We're gonna go ahead and do it at the descending node, which is a spot where we're not going to be too far away from the mother planet after all. So it's 1900 meters per second on this stage, and then probably quite some more at the descending node. But I think we can swing that. So it's 9 days of time warping to the maneuver node now, which we have to be careful to not overshoot. So I'm going to stick to 10,000 times accelerating and drink a bit of coffee. Screw it, 10,000 times too slow. Oh wait, that's because the Kerbal alarm clock is being annoying again. Alright, I'm gonna do it manually. 10,000 times. 5, 4, I'm counting days. 3, 2, just 1 day remaining. Yeah, there we go. Only overshot by 45 minutes. Actually, the overshot announcement was wrong by 6 minutes. We overshot by 39 minutes. But this is rocket science. It's not like these things matter precisely. There we go. Pretend I didn't say that. Full throttle on the burn. And I said we were ditching the experiments, but I lied, because they're apparently perfectly viable to... apparently the maneuver planet lied, or the Oberth effect doesn't matter so much as we thought it did. We have plenty of delta V to go around. So let's crank up the physical time warp here. That should reduce the required time down to 1 minute from 4 minutes. And then if all goes well, and I think, of course, never say that, but I think everything is going to go well, we have one more burn to perform at the descending node. And that's that. Then, of course, there's the year of waiting, or the, I don't know, month or week. Who knows how long these things take. It's not like we can calculate it. All we can do is look and see what happens. Until we actually make flyby of Thalia. Then, of course, we have to look at the planet to decide whether that or Thalumo is going to be the target of our joint effort exploration team. Is that a good acronym? J-E-E-T. JEET. No, we need a better acronym. Okay, submission. Find out, I didn't mean submission as in something you submit, I mean like a submission, like a secondary objective. Find a cool acronym for our joint space mission. JSP? No, too generic. We need a cool acronym. That's on you. Space mission with cool acronym. SMW. No, SMWCA. No, that doesn't work. And there we go, the burn has completed. Now we just need to... Oh, I made a fatal mistake. No, I didn't. We are actually going in this direction. Cool, we are... Let's plan the maneuver node now. That's only 700 meters per second. We have that still. And we actually want to fix it completely. And then... Yeah, there we go. That was an encounter. That definitely was an encounter. That counts. I want to see how tiny this planet is. Oh my fucking god. Alright, 500 meters per second. That is definitely something we can do. 37 days. That means we can safely use 100,000 times. We went back to 50 times. That probably means we have crossed into interstellar space, which means we're going to do a science run. Pressure scan, yeah, we're not going to take those back, my friend. But we are going to do materials bay. Cool, we can send that back. And we can do goo canisters as well. Ooh, we already did that. So I think we can now... We have one more materials bay and two more goo canisters here. No, we need to keep those on to do the Thalia ones also. Alright, that's that then. Back to time warping. 33 days, so that's 100,000 times. Our satellite link is good. Set 5 days, back to 10,000 times. Oh, this is exciting, we're gonna do it! 2-1, and we overshot by just 1 hour, which in interplanetary space actually doesn't matter. Cool. And we're gonna do a stage littering maneuver, which will not litter any theaters, but ditch this rocket stage in interplanetary space. Boom, 500 meters per second to go. We still are good to go. We might even do an orbital insertion, who knows? This is crazy. And let's ditch that. We're proceeding on the tiny engine. And we have landing legs. That is interesting choice to me. Is this a jettisonable part? No, it's not. Cool. Is the temperature toggle display? It's well, actually fairly warm. It's like 233 Kelvin. That's about freezing of water, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, we have been burning rockets, so are in the sun, so perhaps. Cool, 300 meters per second to go, and we're gonna do the last bit manually. Well, not manually, but we're gonna look at the map view as we approach, because remember, this sphere of influence was so super tiny. It's like I think half a meter per second at this point is gonna matter. So let's see, cut the engine, and let's actually remove the maneuver node and. Let's just watch this thing go down. 50,000 kilometers. That means the sphere of influence is like less than 100,000 kilometers across. At this point, it's less than 60,000 kilometers across. At this point, the sphere of influence is about the size of Earth. How crazy is that? Like twice the Earth. That's the size of this sphere of influence. That is a tiny planet. That's like Pluto, but close to the Sun. What's our periapsis going to be here? Oh wait, the sphere of it did count the separation to the sphere of influence. So the sphere of influence is larger than the planet Earth. Cool. Let's make the periapsis go lower so we can try to establish orbit, because of course we're going to try that to also get the other achievement, the other mission that we have running. Look at the window. Yeah, 4 million thingies. Let's do the time warp thing like all the way. Can we see the sun? It should be getting closer now because we're flying closer. It should be getting bigger because we're getting closer to it, is what I tried to say, but failed at doing. Oh, look at that cute tiny star. It's actually quite small still. Here we go. Time warp is decelerating. And we are actually approaching Thalia. Look at that. There we go. Thalia. Should be able to get a look at it? Yeah. Oh, it looks like Mars. Cool. Alright, we're about to do a double Moho 3 course, which is awesome. Let's see. Do we get the Flyby Thalia achievement? Yes, we do. 2 missions completed. Celebrations are in order. We got 700k and another time 700k. We got a lot of money here. And now, of course, we're going to do the Orbit Thalia thing. Oh, let's first do some science now that we're here before we order this probe to do anything else. And transmit the goo. Well, it's not like we're going to get back or anything. And we're going to do observing the materials bay. Transmitting that back. And of course we're also going to do... Wait, how are we on science? On electric here? We're good, we're good. We're also going to transmit the pressure scan and the temperature scan. Awesome. And with that said, let's see if we can actually... Whoa, there's a moon of Thalia, Eta. Cool, that's got to be even smaller. Let's see if we can slow down into orbit. Oh, maybe not. No, I don't think we will be able to get that done. Not quite. Maybe we'll be able to get a very close encounter, and ooh, that's a lot of speed. And then I was hoping maybe to then slow down into orbit from like way close to the planet, but we won't be able to get that done. We would have had to do that a lot sooner. Yeah, that's not happening. That is not happening, not by a long shot. Is it? This is not. This is more than. Yeah, this is way more. What we can do is crash on it. So we're gonna do that instead, and we're gonna make it an exciting crash, which is gonna happen like just a hair above the surface, and that meshes quite nice with the amount of delta V we have available. Wait, if we jettison these, maybe we get like we won't get another 3 kilometers of delta V. That's not gonna happen. Is it though? There is quite literally almost nothing else on this ship. Well, they are spent. We might as well jettison one. We got 300 meters per second from that one. This one is a dilemma though, because we can still use one of the goo canisters to get like science from low down. Or we could jettison it and... No, it's going to give us at most like twice that. So that's going to give us 600. We give us... No, it's not going to be enough. If one of you is going to calculate this and then tell me that it would have easily been enough, that would hurt. But you know, we have a mission to orbit Thalia. That's not going anywhere, I don't think. And maybe once we do the litho braking thing, which is braking by crashing into rock, it will send like one bit of the ship into an orbit. That would be cool. Do we have a surface display here? I want a periapsis readout. I want a periapsis readout of sub-zero. Our apoapsis is obviously infinity because we are on a hyperbolic orbit, but let's see. Our periapsis is 1600 kilometers. 1300 kilometers. No, stop it! I'm using the wrong controls. Having a little bit of a fight with the controls of this ship. Our periapsis is 1100 kilometers now. We don't need the maneuver node anymore. Actually, we can just burn this way and look at the readout. 900 kilometers. Let's put it at like 1 kilometer. In that case, if there's not a mountain, we will make it. If there's not a mountain and not a, we'll do 4 kilometers. If there's not a mountain and there's not an atmosphere, we'll make it. Then again, 4 is cheating. Let's do 1. Let's do 2. 2 kilometers. That's enough safety margin for anyone. Oh no! This way we're definitely gonna crash. We want that tiny chance. That's 900 meters. That's really high. That's like, yeah, 1970 meters. I think that's a good periapsis. Let's see. Let's time warp here. That's only 50 minutes away. That should give us the opportunity to return science. There we go. Oh, this looks quite pretty. This is still high over Thalia. Then I think also the choice of world to explore with the joint mission is obvious by now. It's going to be Thalumo, because the delta V requirements for this one are too high. It's going to be... Consider this if you don't feel like participating with the joint mission. Design me a lander for Thalia. That's going to be a tough one. Because, I don't know, I haven't checked, but I somehow don't feel like this world has an atmosphere, being this close to the sun. Maybe it's not the case. That would ruin me right now, but, you know, could happen. We're transmitting science. Shit, we're heading in over the night side. So let's see. Altitude, terrain, 33 kilometers. Oh, the terrain is like right on the datum. Let's see, there's a ridge there. We're not going to be skimming any mountains here. Let's see, 12 kilometers. Are we going to crash into this planet? We're at 6 kilometers over the ground, 4 kilometers over the ground, 3 kilometers over the ground. Rule, I can speak. 2.5, steady at 2.5, 2, 1.5. Oh my god, here comes the ground. Here it doesn't, it's not coming, it's not coming. Yeah, it was coming. Oh god, that was going up and down for a bit. We might have skimmed over the planet if we had like 3 kilometers or 4. Anyway, that was fun. We crashed something on Thalia. We didn't get the Orbit Thalia achievement, obviously. We did get all the other objectives of the episode, so that's pretty good. And a world first, which is also good. Nice. So thanks for the submissions. Thanks for watching. I will put a notepad online with the specs for the coming missions. That was an idea by Greiswolf. I will do that, and we'll link it in the description below this video. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.